Imagine this. You're 52 years old. You have diabetes. You have a heart condition. You've already had 2 hip replacements. Doctors told you to slow down. Your friends told you it was too late to start over. And yet, you get in your car, drive to a small burger stand in California, and tell the 2 brothers who own it, I want to take your idea and put it everywhere. That man was not a chef. He was not a billionaire. He was a milkshake machine salesman. His name was Ray Kroc. And what he did next built one of the most powerful business empires in human history. With over 40,000 locations, $23 billion in annual revenue, and a logo more recognized than the Christian cross. This is not just a story about burgers. This is a story about obsession, betrayal, vision, and one of the greatest corporate takeovers of the 20th century. Let's go. Before Ray Kroc ever showed up, there were 2 brothers, Richard and Maurice McDonald, Dick and Mac. They grew up poor in New Hampshire, the sons of a shoe factory worker. The Great Depression hit their family hard, but instead of giving up, the brothers did what Americans always dreamed of doing. They drove west, to California, to Hollywood, to opportunity. They tried the entertainment business. They tried running a movie theater. Nothing worked. Then, in 1940, they opened a drive-in restaurant in San Bernardino, California. It had 25 items on the menu. Car hops brought food to your car. Business was okay, but not great. Then something happened that changed everything. In 1948, the brothers made a radical decision. They closed the restaurant for 3 months. They fired all their car hops. They completely redesigned the operation from scratch. When they reopened, the menu had just 9 items. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, and milkshakes. That's it. But the real revolution was how they made the food. Dick McDonald walked into his parking lot and drew a diagram on the ground with chalk. He mapped out every single step of the kitchen. Who stands where, who does what, how long each task takes. He called it the Speedy Service System. Think of it like a factory assembly line, but for food. One person only flips burgers, one person only puts on condiments, one person only handles fries, no wasted movement, no confusion, maximum speed. Within months, San Bernardino was talking. People lined up around the block, a 15-cent hamburger, ready in 30 seconds. They were featured in national newspapers. They were the future of food. But the brothers were happy where they were. They had a nice house, a successful restaurant, a simple life. They didn't want to conquer the world. Someone else, however, did. In 1954, Ray Kroc was struggling. He was selling a machine called the multi-mixer, a device that could make 5 milkshakes at the same time. Sales were falling. Ray was worried. Then he got a strange order. One small restaurant in California just ordered 8 multi-mixers. That meant they were making 40 milkshakes at once. Who does that? Ray had to see it for himself. He drove to San Bernardino. He stood across the street and watched, and what he saw stopped him cold. There was a line of customers stretching out the door and around the parking lot. The food came out in seconds. The place was spotless. The operation ran like a Swiss watch. Ray walked in. He met Dick and Mac. He sat with them, ate their food, listened to their system. And in that moment, Ray Kroc had a vision. He didn't just see a burger stand. He saw this exact restaurant replicated in every town, every city, every highway exit in America. Maybe in the world. He went back to his hotel that night and couldn't sleep. The next morning, he went back to the brothers and made them a proposal. Let me franchise McDonald's across America. You provide the system. I handle the growth. We split the royalties. The brothers were hesitant. They'd tried franchising before. It had been a disaster. But Ray was persuasive. And he was desperate. So they agreed. In 1954, at age 52, Ray Kroc became the exclusive franchise agent for McDonald's. He had no real money. He had no restaurant experience. He had a bad hip and a massive dream. Ray's first McDonald's franchise opened in Des Plaines, Illinois on April 15, 1955. From day one, Ray was obsessed with one thing: consistency. He understood something the brothers never fully grasped. The product wasn't the burger. The product was the system. Every McDonald's had to taste exactly the same. Whether you were in Illinois, Texas, or eventually Tokyo, the fries had to be identical. The bun had to be identical. The time to prepare had to be identical. Ray would show up unannounced at franchises. He would measure the amount of ketchup on a burger. He would time how long it took to get an order. He would look for dirty corners, broken lights, messy counters. He once said, "If you have time to lean, you have time to clean." But there was a massive problem. Ray was making almost no money. The royalty agreement gave him only 1.9% of franchise sales. After paying the brothers and his own costs, Ray was barely breaking even. Some months he lost money. He was mortgaging his house. His wife was furious. His accountant told him he was going to go bankrupt. Then Ray met a man who changed everything, a financial advisor named Harry Sonneborn. Harry looked at Ray's situation and said something that became legendary. "Ray, you're not in the burger business, you're in the real estate business." The idea was radical. Instead of just franchising the brand, McDonald's Corporation would buy or lease the land where each restaurant was built, then sublease it to the franchisees at a higher rate. McDonald's would make money on the rent, regardless of how the food sold. This was the financial engine that saved the company. McDonald's became one of the largest property owners in the world. Today, it owns real estate valued at over $40 billion. Ray had found his money machine. Now he needed to own the whole company. By 1960, tension between Ray Kroc and the McDonald's brothers was reaching a breaking point. Ray wanted to modernize. The brothers wanted stability. Ray wanted total control. The brothers still owned the name, the original restaurant, and the rights to the system. Every time Ray tried to change something, he needed their approval, and they kept saying no. So in 1961, Ray made them an offer. He wanted to buy the entire McDonald's name, system, and brand. Everything outright. The brothers named their price $2.7 million. In 1961, that was an enormous sum. Ray didn't have it. He had to borrow from every bank and investor he could find, many of whom turned him down. But he raised the money, he bought them out. There was just one thing he refused to honor. The original deal included a handshake promise that the brothers would receive a 0.5% royalty on all future McDonald's sales, forever. Ray refused to put it in the final contract. Over time, that 0.5% would have been worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Dick McDonald was furious. He called it a betrayal. The brothers never spoke to Ray again. Ray's response? He opened a new McDonald's directly across the street from the brothers' original restaurant in San Bernardino. And he drove them out of business. Cold? Yes. But Ray Kroc had not come this far to be sentimental. After 1961, McDonald's exploded. By 1963, McDonald's was selling 1 million hamburgers a day. By 1965, the company went public on the stock exchange. By 1970, there were over 1,500 locations across the United States. Then came the world, Canada, Europe, Japan, Australia. The golden arches rose on every continent, the Big Mac, the Happy Meal, Ronald McDonald, icons that became part of global culture. Ray Kroc died in 1984, a billionaire. He never stopped working, never fully retired, never lost the hunger that drove him since that first visit to San Bernardino. And the McDonald's brothers? Dick McDonald passed away in 1998. He never received the royalties Ray had promised. He spent his final years in New Hampshire, largely forgotten by the empire he had created. Today, McDonald's serves approximately 70 million customers per day in over 100 countries. It is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue. The company's real estate portfolio alone would rank it among the most powerful corporations on the planet. All of it. Built on a chalk diagram in a parking lot, and the relentless vision of a 52-year-old salesman who refused to accept that his best years were behind him. Here's what the McDonald's story actually teaches. The idea doesn't always belong to the person who scales it. Systems beat talent. Ownership beats royalties. And the person willing to be ruthless will almost always outrun the person willing to be comfortable. Ray Kroc didn't invent the burger. He invented a machine. And then he made sure he owned everything inside it. If this story hit different, drop a comment below. What part surprised you most? And if you want more stories about the empires behind the world's biggest brands, subscribe because we are just getting started.